welcome to Young Kizzy, the one YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
Something got me. Network is a problem. Hello, Lagina. Network is a problem, but I'll work with the network the way it is. I'll be waiting for it to come back because it's like it disappears and comes back. But I want to talk about why are we so comfortable with hypocrisy and failure. Okay, I'm truly concerned about this because this is something that I keep facing. Network is just not happening. So I'm facing a challenge of understanding how we are comfortable with demanding for change, yet not willing to change. I'm truly concerned that network. Okay, I don't know what the UPND have done to network in Zambia. This is just how we have to live with network, on and off. But I'll work with it the way it is. Why are we comfortable with failure and poor development? I see people claiming they want change, but they want to become the new bad people or the new oppressors. You see, I'm concerned that we are a society that claims we want to do better location, try to changing the position to see if network. So people are comfortable to support what is wrong within their grouping or within their circle, but so we're trying a different network. Let's try MTN and see if it will perform better. Airtel clearly has failed us. So why are people comfortable with failure and hypocrisy? That's my question this night. So I have been accused of being disrespectful sometimes to so-called elders for things that they expect me to point out for another group of elders, right? For instance, if I saw something wrong in the UPND government, regardless of the age of the person, I'm allowed to point it out and say, that is wrong, that is unacceptable, that is not correct, that is not right. But if it's being done within my party, I'm expected to respect the elders by not telling them that what they're doing is wrong. You are trying to teach us to tolerate what is wrong. You are trying to teach us to tolerate and accept what is not acceptable. 61 years after independence, are you not ashamed as I am? 61 years after independence, are you not frustrated with our status quo as a people? 61 years after independence, are you not concerned that despite the education that we have received, despite the technological advancement that there is, despite the wealth of information that we can now access, our country is not democratically stable? Our country is not developmental. The word is difficult, yeah? The development of our country is still questionable. It's still below par. Are you not concerned with that? Are you not concerned with the consistent coming up of poor leadership? Are you not concerned? Are you not desiring for a better Zambia? Genuinely so. Because a better Zambia begins with us deciding to have better leaders. A better Zambia begins with us having an honest conversation, regardless of the age of the person. You see, the children of today, we are teaching them to protect themselves, even from elderly people. It was discovered that a girl child was being molested and abused and defiled by members of the family who were older. And in the spirit of culture of respecting elders, they were keeping quiet. So we are teaching our children to speak up, regardless of age of the person. My new Mbuyas, the Bembas, have a great saying, where it says, Nefipuba fila kota, right? That's what the Bembas would say. Nefipuba fila kota. I think it's supposed to be like that. Meaning that people who grow up and yet they lack wisdom. So just because you are older, it doesn't mean people should not speak up to you. It cannot be an insult to tell an elderly person that they're wrong. It cannot be an insult to tell an elderly person that you are a liar. If they choose to be a liar, then they qualify to be called a liar. Because you can do something about it as an elder to say, since I'm elderly, I don't want to be called a liar, so I won't be lying. It's simple. But you choose to be an elderly person that lies and you want people not to call you a liar. It's not right. And if you're elderly, you start making statements that divide or in a way cause a grouping of our society to feel sidelined or maligned or whatever. And you don't want anyone to tell that, you don't want the younger people to tell you that you're wrong. Then you're destroying our country. Stop destroying our country. We should be desiring for a better Zambia. And this thing of calling, when I call you a bad leader, I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm saying you're a bad leader. Can we learn to distinguish issues in our minds? A bad leader is not a bad person. He's a bad leader. Okay? If someone says you are a bad leader, they're not saying they hate you. They're saying what you are doing is not what they subscribe to. And they see it as bad. The decisions you're making in that position that you hold. You need to begin to learn to disassociate yourself from the positions that you hold. This is why a lot of leaders in Africa have problems leaving positions because they become their positions. One thing my late dad taught me was that never become the position that you are. Remain who you are. Some of you in the Patriotic Front have felt offended because I stand for what I believe is right. And I don't have hypocrisy in me. So if something is wrong, I will still say it is wrong because we can't correct it unless we name it for what it is. You cannot correct wrongs if you can't name them. If there is lying, you must name it as lying. Then you correct it to truth. If there is cheating, you must name it as cheating. Then you correct it to being honest. But if we live in a society where the older people are going to say, we are older, so you can't tell us when we are wrong, then we can't develop as in people and as a nation. I'm aspiring as a member of parliament for Chawama. I'm hoping and praying and believing God that I will be adopted to stand for the people of Chawama. It is not right that we lost ECL because he couldn't go to seek medical attention on time and he died. And then his daughter is attending the funeral and the burial hasn't taken place. And now she's being told you must either come back and work and leave the funeral, which is ongoing. And culturally, that's impossible for anyone to do that. So she opted to stay and mourn her father as expected of anyone of right standing. And you take her seat away from her as a member of parliament. It's so unfair. It's unacceptable. Sometimes you're like, no, as it is, if you stay what, and you was using all these philosophical statements. But why don't we tell the government to leave the family alone so that they bury? Why are we encouraging the government to continue keeping this standoff? Why couldn't we encourage the government to also say, look, leave them alone, let them bury, so that everybody moves on, right? Since everyone says they want to move on, yet no one really wants to move on. Because the government is still not able to let the family bury. But anyway, you've taken the seat away from Honorable Tasila Lungu Mwansa. And as a community member of Chawama, I'm not happy. Stinga luze vonse. Tiluze wa presidenti. Tiluze na chipura cha PF cha Chawama. For member of parliament, ni boza yo. Tabeksha. And so I'm aspiring to be adopted by our party. However, should the party decide that someone else is better equipped than I, my role is to support that person. That will be my role. And I'm lucky and I'm blessed that so far, everybody I know who equally wants to stand is someone I can rally behind and support. And it's very important for me that the kind of leaders that we end up with are leaders whereby we can easily rally behind and support. But if I see traits in you of what I deem a bad leader, it becomes hard for me to support you. And it's not hating you. It's being principled. It's being principled. Zambia will not develop if we don't start standing on principles. We must learn and we must get to that point where we understand that we need to have principles, even in terms of leadership. Who qualifies to be a leader? So even us who want to aspire for leadership, we should be able to weigh ourselves. Not personal reason to say, what type of hair does she have? Can she be a member of parliament? That is nonsensical. It's neither here or there. Because like I've cut my hair medically. There's a medical reason. The migraines can't leave me alone, right? So a hairstyle doesn't define who I am. Now, there are critical things that you must look at. The levels of leadership where I've been, how have I performed? That's what you look at. In terms of following instruction, how have I behaved or performed? So judge me based on my leadership skills. And if somebody say, I don't like Namakau's leadership skills, I can't say they hate me. They don't like my leadership skills. Simple. I'm flabbergasted each time I hear the President of the Republic of Zambia, President HH, say things like, they hate me because of where I come from, because they're against Bill 7. Who does that? They don't hate you personally. They're talking about Bill 7. They're saying it has breached the Constitution and how it was started, and therefore it should not have any legal standing of being there. The technical committee, we don't see any of the additions to that report. So it's like you created a technical committee that wasted taxpayers' money and their report has not contributed to that document, and then you bring back the document exactly the way it was, which was rejected and deemed unconstitutional, and you want us to rally behind you. No, you're a bad leader. We don't hate you. We're telling you this is bad leadership. And that is the same mindset I carry in the Patriotic Front. If a leader decides on their own accord to do what I believe is not right for a leader to do, I'll still call you a bad leader. I don't hate you. I just see a bad leader. So stop being a bad leader so that we stop calling you a bad leader. That's how it works. You can't demand that the citizens of the Republic of Zambia must not demand better from their own leaders. You can't tell us to say, don't talk about us, just support whichever. Like right now, the UPND are supposed to probably also have a convention. The Patriotic Front is supposed to have a convention. Same like with every political party, according to the new constitutional requirements, everybody's supposed to have a convention. But as citizens, the challenge I want to pose to us is that should we really, just because we belong to the party, and individuals decide to rise up and say, I want to stand, are we not going to weigh their leadership skills? Are we not interested to judge their leadership skills? If someone does not have the right leadership skills, then we have a problem. It doesn't matter whether it's my party, it's not my party. The standard should be the same. If we are allowed to call the UPND government to account and to say, these are lies, so you're a liar. These are failures, so you're a failure. It means even within our parties, we must be able to say that. As a leader, you should have done this. You haven't done it, so you're not a good leader, so you can't be supported by me. Simple. No hatred. Just a demand of a better nation. A demand for a higher quality of operation for our motherland. Tamwana ka. Amska katala. Ke mwako kane. Simunaleme. I'm not sure how to say in Tonga. Tam katali. I'm not sure. How to say it. But I am tired. Ndakatala. Ndakatala. I'm tired of looking at my countrymen and women and wondering what is wrong with us. And I discovered some of the reasons of why we don't develop as a nation, why we don't improve as a people. Because according to the society we are living in, they want us to say, "Abakulunga balelu fianya, tule batamba fie," and we should be looking for nice ways to tell them that balelu fianya. Abahulu abasinyalika kuti batili, kibabahulu. Amatuele onachalo kapa mfumane nzila yakuba zembaika kuti batili amubeleki hande, Ine bakulumpe, mama bakulumpe kuba bulamba. Bibele kuba byatamane. Kuba mama byatamane shufo mana, ufo mukinji. No. As an adult, as an elder, take it up on yourself to do what is right for country. Take it up on your own self to do what is right for Zambia, for your party. Then we will not say negative, but we will celebrate you. We shall celebrate you. Be a unifier, then we'll call you unifier. Be disciplined, then we'll call you disciplined. Be kind, then we'll call you kind. Be truthful, we'll call you truthful. Be honest, we'll call you an honest man or an honest woman. But should you choose to follow the Bemba saying, Neifupuba fila kota, we as the younger generation will demand of you to do better and will call you out. And that is not disrespect. That is correcting what is wrong. So this nation can change its trajectory. You can't be talking as parties. I know even in the UPND it's the same thing. The Patriotic Front is the same thing. In New BZ is the same thing. In any political party you find yourself in, it will be the same thing. There will be those who always say, we must support whoever we are given. But what if you've been given HH again? Should you support that? No. So what if they're giving you a leader who is not good, who doesn't know how to unify? Who believes we should fight for things in any way, anyhow, tukafisova kuntanshi, tukabweshanya kuntanshi. No. Gamwafi pasauka. Kafiasa langana. Tafibwela munshila. Whatever you're going to dismantle, you will break. You can't rebuild it to look exactly as it should. So it's important for us as leaders to ensure we love this nation. I know we're not perfect. I don't even expect anyone to be perfect. I'm not perfect. But if someone says, Namzi, you're a bad leader, they don't hate me. They just don't believe in or agree with my leadership style. And it's my responsibility to introspect. I love the people of Chawama because the people of Chawama have taught me Ubuntu in more ways than I will ever repay them for. In Chawama, they eat together, we eat together, We cry together. We laugh together. We argue and reconcile. That's how we live in Chawama. They have taught me in more ways than I thought I needed to learn on how to live with other people. And that's why I would be honored to serve the people of Chawama with what I know, what I'm educated in, what I've seen, what I've been exposed to, and contribute, even if it's for a short time. But above all, I'm demanding justice for Honorable Tarsila Lungu Mansa by us winning back the seat. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not an exciting time to aspire for this position as Member of Parliament because it is not coming out of a good background. But we must win it for the party, for the sake of the memory of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, and for the sake of our Member of Parliament, Tarsila Lungu Mansa. And I am offering myself for the same. But it's not a do or die situation. I'm praying. I've done my groundwork. I'm doing everything humanly possible. But I must know that there are also other candidates doing exactly what I'm doing and whom the party decides on. And the grateful, likely for me, are all people I can support as well. So let's give people options that are worthy. As aspiring leaders, let's always ensure we lead in a manner that our comrades, our colleagues are willing to come and rally behind us. Don't say, rally behind me regardless. No, 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 no. Don't say, we must unite regardless. No. Because then we are not building. We are faking it. And at some point, it will break. It will break. I tell people that there's a difference between politicking and criminality. When cadres decide to beat up other people, that's not cadreism, that is criminality. And we need to begin to set the standard right. You can't go and defame me and say, no, Namakao, because you're aspiring to be a member of parliament for Chawama constituency in the next by-election. Just forget, ignore about me. You don't even ask for forgiveness. You just say I should just ignore it so that we look like we are united. But you're defaming me. That is not politicking. That's criminality. We need to start learning the boundaries of what politicking is, what criminality is, what rule of law is, what being a law-abiding citizen is, and what is not acceptable by society. We need to start setting these boundaries very clear. Because a lot of cadres, a lot of political players, they think politicking is doing your worst, destroying other people to pieces. I'll never talk about people's personal lives because I have no right or authority to discuss their personal life. But I can talk about their leadership decisions, their leadership actions. I'll talk about those because those determine a lot of things. A bad president leads to a country being load-shedded for over 2 years. For 2 years, load-shedding. And now they're trying to blackmail us with a few more hours a day. And apparently we're supposed to forget that we have lived with power shutdowns for the past 2 years. No. We don't forget. We won't forget. The poor leadership that has already been displayed will not be forgotten. But us as the opposition, as we say we want to bring a replacement, what type of a replacement it is? Is it going to be? I'm here to be a different type of politician. I will not allow myself to join those who say, well, the world cannot be changed, so let's just keep it as it is by doing the same things and expecting a different result. I will not be part of that. I demand better because I want a better Zambia. And it starts with a better decision making by me as Namakao. Better leadership by me as Namakao. That's how it starts. So if I see that you're not a good leader, I'm not going to support you. Simple. And you who want your leader to be supported, speak to them. They need to change, because I'm not saying they're a bad person. I'm just saying they're a bad leader. And that's something easy to change. You can work on changing yourself and learn the bad leadership traits and learn the right leadership traits. And we will support you. And be genuine about it. But if you just say, no, just support for the sake of supporting, how are we helping our country become better? New must be new. I'm feeling extremely touched by this situation because I'm looking at the people that say they want change, that say they want something new, but they're not willing to do what needs to be changed to see that change. It's like saying, I want to lose weight, but you're not willing to change your lifestyle. You're not willing to diet or exercise, but you expect to lose weight. We can't do that as a country. So, to my people in the Patriotic Front, I want us to come up with the best possible candidate. Because only then we can begin to talk about new. You know why? The buck ends at the top. What you put on top there trickles down to the entire structure of the party, and if you go into ruling as a nation. If you have a bitter leader, the entire thing becomes bitter, and you have an embittered nation. If you're a greedy leader, the entire system becomes greedy, and you have a greedy nation. If you have a corrupt leader, the entire party becomes corrupt, and then a corrupt nation. And you can't say, no, the politicians, we can choose them anyhow, but we want good doctors, we want good teachers, we want good nurses. No. Everybody must rise up to being better. That's the only way we change the nation. If we want no corruption, look for leaders that are not corrupt. That's how it works, my friend. I don't hate anybody. I don't even hate President Hakainde Hichilema. I just don't agree with his type of leadership. And where I haven't compromised with him, where I've demanded better from President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND, then I should still also have a problem with a leader who will portray any traits that look like that in the PF. I'll still call them out. Because otherwise I'm a hypocrite, and I will never be comfortable with hypocrisy. Let's mess up in our personal lives, but when it comes to our country, we are working together as collective brains. We have to do better. We have to do better. And the change only happens when we decide to do things differently. So meaning, I can demand better of my party the same way I'm demanding better of the current ruling party. And it's never about love and hate. It's just about wanting what is better for us as a people. I am tired of being ashamed of a nation with brilliant minds, but looking like we don't know what we are doing. A nation with brilliant youth, but seemingly going nowhere. We can no longer choose leaders based on how nice they look in their suits, and how nice they walk, or how nice they look. Does the person have experience? Is there a track record to say they were this and they were this and they were that and they perform? Is there a record? I heard someone saying, no, it doesn't matter the experience as long as... No, guys. Experience is always important. That's why they will put you under. I joined my last job. I was what they called a management trainee when I joined. I had to work under people for a period of time. It's just important that you work. If you don't have the experience, gain the experience. Work under people, gain the experience, then you can be that. And even then, don't force yourself to be. I can't say I'll do everything and anything just to become the person chosen, adopted for this by-election in Shawarma. I can't do that. But I can do what I need to do, the right things. When they tell me do this, I do it. Do that, do that. Everything they tell me to do, I do. Show up and be my best on the interviews or whatever they call me for. I should come and do my best. But I can't say it's only me. Why? Was I born for it alone? No. Others also feel they can also serve. So it's an issue of if God wills, I'm doing my best and I want this. But let God's will be done. Because when God decides, you don't lose anything. Even when he decides against you. It may hurt, but you don't lose anything. Because trust me, you don't want to get something that God didn't want you to get. It will not give you any peace. Personally, I prefer peace in me and fulfillment in me than money all over me. That's why I've never joined the UPND. Because I'm not going to have money and everything, but inside of me, I know I'm betraying myself. No. That's for Kulanda coffee. And tomorrow, I want to make a video on President Luminda. Because I saw some scandalous writing that wanted to suggest that President Luminda has been acquitted because probably he's in cohorts with the UPN. The usual mudslinging they do on President Luminda. I want to tell you something. Some people don't like President Luminda because he's a straight man. I sat through some court sessions of corruption or suspected proceeds of crime. And I'm not a lawyer, I haven't been trained in law and all that thing, but I knew the person was going to be convicted. You know why? They had no receipts, tangible evidence of what they earned and why they should own what they were owning. I could already see that this person is going to be in trouble. But President Luminda is very difficult because they say he wants things done right. They say he's difficult because he's not going to let you cut the edges or cut corners. He wants things done right. So there must be documentation. There must be receipts. Everything must be done proper. That's why they can't find him with a case to answer. Or should I say they found him with a case to answer, but he gets acquitted. Because he's able to provide the receipts and the documentation to say, I raised this money like this, and so I used it like this. There's evidence and an audit trail. That man, I sat in court and I knew the man was going to be jailed because I knew he was going to be found guilty. He had no audit trail. There was nothing to follow to say money came like this, went like this, so ended up like this. There was nothing. But being difficult, as you call Luminda to be difficult, wanting things to be straight and proper, he gets acquitted. How are you going to find him guilty? So let's not be a people that love shortcuts and corners and excitement. So we went back to Airtel because MTN just dropped. Yeah, so let me round up. Let's stop celebrating people who make us feel good. But what they make us feel good about is actually not supposed to be what should be done. Let's not celebrate people that allow us to be thugs. Let's not celebrate people that allow us to be practicing hooligan caderism. Let's not celebrate people that give us money and we can't even understand where their bottomless tree of money stands. Let's also celebrate things that we can actually, when we sit down and we think about that's criminality, that is wrong, that is not right. Let's not celebrate that. Let's learn to celebrate what is right. The same way you want to go to the hospital and you expect the nurses to treat you with care, the doctors to treat you with care and to be attentive to your needs. It's the same way. Let's demand of us politicians that we must deliver with the same level of integrity, accountability, and honesty. Same level. If we want teachers that walk into a class, teach our children, mark their books, check their books. If we want them, even us as politicians, we must do what is right. Then we change our country. Because then I won't receive, as a politician, I will not receive some brown envelope and allow the foreigners to enjoy our minerals, whilst we the people don't enjoy our minerals, and our nation continues being impoverished, being caught amongst the poorest countries in the world, and yet you are the one of the wealthiest mineral deposited nation. Does it even make sense? You are the poorest and the richest at the same time. Because you're leaders, because you're not choosing men of integrity, men that are willing to say, I have told people that I refused the lure of finances and money in the UPND to maintain my integrity in what I believe in. So I'm not going to be in the patriotic front, and I'm going to tolerate supporting what I can see I should not support. No, I must not be a hypocrite, because then I'll be part of failure. And I'll be part of celebrating the failure. And I don't want to do that. There's no way. We can do better. It's late. I know I'm ranting because I feel I'm tired of people calling me. Namakao, we should support anyone who wins. Namakao, we should support. No, we don't just support anyone who wins. Give us the right person. Give us the right person. Before you demand of me to support somebody, that somebody should be worthy of my support. Yes. Be worthy of my support. Don't get it twisted. Don't demand my support when you're not ready to do the work. I must be what the people of Chawama want. Otherwise, they will not support me. They must hear. Ankala Bwanji now yunai mbantu wamene mpeza kana hivi pafupi kwa kuwadi tu. Ni muntu wa Bwanji. Ama verana bantu. Mwati amatandiza bantu. Mwati babi wazafunza mafunso ayo. And the people who surround me, if they say, yeah, sama posha na bantu. Kulipa mina maposha. No one will vote for me. But if I say, ni wachimwena, ni wachikata, ni boss lady watu. Aposha, kamba na bantu, atandiza. Those reports, they work in my favor. And that's the type of leadership that we should start demanding. And not this thing of, just because someone says they want to be a leader, so we must just accept them. Awe. Yeah. Ine. Watili. Tagaga. Tatiyandi. Don't just give us anything. Some of you even know you ni moko sasa navamena funo chita oyo. Sasa navamena kamba. Ama shamunga funta. But mufuna timufote. Tumusupport. Are you serious? Are you serious about your country? Are you serious about your nation? Are you serious about development? Are you serious about rule of law? Are you serious about transforming people's lives? Awe Zambians, awe guys, awe na mipapata, muzna yesu na mipapata na mpempa, please. When you want to be a leader, make sure you do the right thing. If you're going to be a thug, if you're going to be a criminal, if you're going to be misbehaving, if you're not going to follow the rule of law, if you're not going to be uniting, if you're going to be a tribalist, if you're going to be somebody who is not doing what is right, I, Namakao Mercy Silomese, for one, I will call it out, not because I hate you, but because I want people to decide seeing what they're deciding. So, namahilo, kulibomela zaka kamba sinizo ziba. Mailo noti baka na dawa tatoa ishibe. Norusa zibi. Keto ayukile ne. No, I want to banati uza. Koji banati uza. Sina vele chabi. I want people to make a decision and suffer the consequences themselves. And I must speak my truth. So tomorrow, I don't say, Sembeni na kamba, kabena, regret, and me, wala. Zambia, let's demand better. And we only demand better when we speak up about what we don't agree with. And don't allow anyone to coerce you into becoming something that is hurting our country. So you have all been politically participating, and you've been doing the same thing of uniting behind individuals that you did not even believe in yourselves. And how has it helped the nation? Nothing. It hasn't helped us. So mufuna na ina nimijoine. Wala. We are saying we need a different type of politicking. We need a different political framework. We need a different trajectory politically. And it starts with being honest like this. I give you respect. Mwabahulu, ndi mwabakulu, mwibakulumpe. But bakulumpe, mwana kuluvyanya. Babahulu, afa, mufosize. I have to tell you. Mufos is so. So let's do so. It's not disrespectful. That's being progressive and desiring to see true transformation and change. Because the Bemba said, Nefipuba, filakota. So meaning, you can't just believe something or flow with something simply because somebody older said it. We are telling our girl child, no uncle should tell you, come and sit on my thighs here. We have said, no, refuse. Yes, in our culture, you must go. But we are teaching our girl children, and now even our male children, when the uncle says, come and sit on my lap here, I want to teach you a new game, say no, run, and report. So it also means politically, when the elders misdirect themselves, we are here to say, red card, not like that, this way. And it's not disrespecting you. It's just that we want better and we are in a hurry for better. So please forgive us. Some of us, you may hear names. I'm not disrespectful. I'm just in a hurry for a better Zambia, a better future for myself, and a better future for my children. And with the same level, I demand that the hospitals should have medicines and should have adequate doctors and machinery. I am also saying as politicians, we have to have the right leadership skill set. Simple. Everybody must rise up to the right bar. No hypocrisy.
Oh my goodness.